Hey, party people in the place to be, Mets fans, what's good? Welcome to the New York Mets Lounge. I am Uncle Freezy. I'm joined by Jay, the chosen one. Jay, what's good, bro?
Chilling today. The Mets are good today, for
Today the
sure.
Mets are good. Tomorrow, tomorrow we'll see.
We'll
Right.
see.
So everybody, I had a few thoughts on my mind. I just want to share with you guys. So I had to jot it down because as I was watching the game, I was trying to remember these points for the show, and then as the game progressed, I realized I had to write stuff down because as the game go on, you go through these swings of emotions, like you down 1-0, somebody hits a home run, all of a sudden you're up 2-1, you're on you know. So I have a thing. Just want to talk about the game and the sense of a Mets fan overall. So y'all bear with me as I try to stumble or try not to stumble through my thoughts. So let's talk about it because um, today was different in a sense. So the Mets didn't just win a ball game today; they stopped the bleeding. A 5-1 victory over the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, who are also struggling. And it may not sound like a headline, like across the league. Like this is not a shot fired across the bow of the Dodgers that play in the same city. It's just a win, right? But at the same time, the win felt a little different to me. In that there were a few things going on because coming into this game, the Mets were struggling. We all know that. And I'm talking about a team that's been sitting in last place, trying to find out who they are, searching for identity, searching for consistency, and to be honest, searching for a reason for fans to believe in them, right? Because you sign a bunch of free agents, and the Mets fans believed that that late push during the hot stove period was a real push. So we have these thoughts of maybe this could be a special year if we catch lightning in a bottle. So what? We lost Pete Alonso. So what? We lost Brendan Nimmo. So much. So what? We lost Jeff McNeil. So what? We lost Jesse Winker. So what? We lost Edwin Diaz. So what? We lost. Name a free agent that we lost. Put it in that place, bro. So what? We lost that guy, right? But leading up to this game, the Mets were pitching solid, um, not bombarded by injuries, but had a few, right? Um, have a few guys struggling to hit the baseball. And then we find out that a few guys are actually hitting the baseball, but just not hitting the baseball at home, right? Tearing the cover off the baseball away on the road, not performing in City Field. And so what that presented to me, that gives me this sense of the Mets are pressing and baseball is not fun. Those are two things that you don't ever want to associate with your job, especially if you're playing a game. Games are supposed to be fun, right? When games stop being fun, they become pressure. And then people look at how much money you make. For example, say if the Mets signed a shortstop, second baseman from the American League champs to come here to play a new position, there's pressure immediately because you had the same thing last season. You pursued a top-notch free agent last offseason and got him, and you didn't make the playoffs, right? You pursued a top-notch free agent this winter and you didn't get him, right? And so guys underneath that pressure, things tend to snowball in a sense where things stop being fun, right? Stop being fun for the owner, the front office, the coaching staff, the players, and the fans. Today, I watched the Mets go out and play under pressure and look like they wasn't having fun, but they were doing their job. And then all of a sudden, you get a spark from a kid, right? You get a spark from a kid, makes a great play in center field. All of a sudden, you see a smile at shortstop. You see a smile at first base. And all of a sudden, it seems like just for a moment, your team is having fun or at least enjoying the moment. And then you see Mark Vientos hits the second of his two-run home runs in a game, and now you see the kid that was smiling, that was kind of a spark, is the first person Mark Vientos sees when he touches home plate. Right? Now, for some, I know the easy answer for me, the easy answer for a team that is struggling is make a major trade, go out and get a star, right? Because it'll create buzz and it'll energize the fan base, right? Energize the clubhouse. But as I watched Swaggy touch home plate, and that time in between the time that I left the living room watching the game to come here to set up the show, my mindset changed from do you need a major overhaul or do you just need to make baseball fun again for the talent that you already have? Now, while you may still need a major trade, you may still need a major trade. There's no doubt about it. You may need one, right? Right? But during that time when you're working this out with another organization for their player, can baseball be fun again? I believe if the Mets can loosen up and have fun again, you may see that spark that kicked this thing off in 2024 when somebody out of the blue said, "Oh my God, OMG, baseball became fun." The Mets went on a run, and it became a season that we won't soon forget. But that was my thought, Jay. What's good, brother?
Chilling, chilling. I just watched a incredibly pitched game by a man that was a reliever for the majority of his career. You know, trying to look for the when you go through a season with a team that you rock with, and that team underachieves, doesn't get the the best uh off season pieces, doesn't get the best free agents, doesn't every day, to me, not even the best manager. Every day is a new lineup. Your brain starts to say, "Man, how much more can I take of this?"
Right.
So wins start to become like now, like this is no this to uh like the Marlins or that was a shot across the bow to my man. I got a lot of people over here to the Marlins or to the Angels for years or White Sox or whatever, but it's
Right.
starting to, you start to look at it, and when you got the worst thing going with the second highest salary margin in the whole league, um, there's a problem. There's a major problem. And when sports is two things, right? Sports is something that you grow up, you play, you spend most of the time playing it and watching it as a child. On the who scalps a ticket right in front of your face and goes in the shade, and you watch the White Gooden pitch like you've never seen a pitcher pitch,
Right.
right? And then the older you get, you're riding with them like we do, and it becomes a different thing, especially nowadays when there's streaming services and you can watch every other game, and
Right.
you could keep track of everybody's stats, and you start treating it almost like the way you treat FanDuel. All right, yo, I want today. You know what? I think I want to get rid of this guy right now. I need to get rid of this guy because this guy stinks, and I want to go to this guy.
Okay.
Uh, Thank you, JJ, for that information. Appreciate that. Uh, and it exactly. Actually, I'm gonna be honest. I think maybe the Mets made a phone call, or the NBA made a phone call. There
Right.
ain't gonna
Right.
be no weather,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but probably it's Colorado. Either way, the point is that catch Benj makes. Benj is obviously an up and coming stud who could play the field, who could run like the wind, who could catch and all that. But I'm gonna stick with my what I've been saying, and what I'm saying here today. Today's star is the pitcher, number one. Okay, the second star in my eyes today is going to be Vientos, because Vientos is something bad. His power went bad, and he also made 2 days in a row. I didn't think about it during the game. We were talking
Right.
the line drive that was supposed to be caught last night, and then today's scoop, one bounce scoop. How you taught to throw a baseball from deep, one bounce, so it's easy to catch, and he makes up for it with the second home run, and then Benj playing the outfield from the wall catch to that diving catch. He is most definitely a incredible athlete with poise beyond his years. Um, I just really am praying that this young man starts to really learn how to hit major league baseball, and he does things at the plate that makes us both irritated and angry, and but I hear what you're saying. I do believe that there has to be a, a big change to be made, but I also believe that winning in general, because we have won games with Flores as our shortstop and Duda as our first baseman, and of course we had Yo Anus Cespedes, but
Mm-hmm.
and whatever. But he didn't get hit to half the year. He made a big difference, but the rest of that team was built around one thing: pitching. And right now we have, even though he didn't put on a show last night, we have three very solid pitchers,
Okay.
and we have three, four very solid relievers.
Right.
Right? That's something to work on. And I really believe that you start piecing wins together. You know, I mean, look, every team goes through it. Look what the Knicks went through with the losing streak, and then you sit down, you talk with each other, you get better with each other. But it doesn't help when Lesotho comes back and Lindor gets hurt the same day. But still, you find a way You have a guy at third baseman who's never been a third baseman, who's been now playing shortstop. He doesn't look bad. He's played shortstop before, 7 years.
Right.
Is he got the arm strength of Lindor? No. But could this change him in a way? He was 2 for 4.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
He made a nice throw that should have been caught. So, we just went through the easiest part of our season thus far. And we let that out of our reach. Um but that doesn't mean anything because we are still the New York Mets that have Juan Soto, that have Bo Bichette, Louis Robert Jr.,
Right.
Michael Jordan Melendez,
Yep. Michael Jackson Melendez.
Michael Jackson Melendez. He moonwalked to that diving catch. That was
Heck
one
yeah.
hell of a catch
Heck
by
yeah.
him.
Heck yeah.
And let's see what this does to Vientos because Vientos in 24 wasn't on a hitting streak, and Lindor always starts off bad.
Right.
So let's see what this does because he caught fire halfway through the year and hit like 14 home runs after the second half,
Yep.
or no, 16, something like that.
Right.
So I'm happy with our bullpen. We can add extra stuff. It really is amazing how Holmes has really took upon himself. Uh, don't try to beat me to it, JJ. Took upon himself. Uh,
Yeah.
you got me?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm here.
Okay.
It's not
That's what we were talking about. That he was supposed to score a full solid 7, and he didn't because Vientos missed that scoop.
Yeah.
If this does the pros and shows one more time, I'm gonna switch.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
No, no, no worries. We have.
Yeah. Um.
And
Yeah.
I also thought Mendoza jumped out of that dugout kind of early. I was like, what are you afraid of right there?
Yeah. He didn't have to pull him
Yeah, I was like, man, you jumped out of that dugout, bro.
with the
But
5-1 lead.
yeah, I didn't. That kind of caught me. It kind of caught me off guard there. But at the same time, um, I'm not criticizing because he knows the ins and outs of what's going on every day with that club. I don't. So you know, but I was like, yeah, he jumped out of that dugout, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. All right. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, we watched the game together, but not really. So chat, Jay and I watched the game together, but not really, if that makes sense. So
Yeah. This is why.
one one of the things that we noticed today, that I noticed today, I pointed out to Jay, and I think he may have saw it too. I think he may have noticed it too. The Mets get a ton of pitches to hit. Y'all listen. The Mets get a ton of pitches to hit. And for some reason, they either take them or foul them off. And I don't understand it. we get a ton of pitches in the zone, man. We get a ton of pitches to hit, and for some reason, we take them, we miss them, we foul them off, but we don't do damage. And I was thinking, man, if Pete Alonso would get pitches like that, if Pete Alonso was getting pitches like that last year, bro, Pete Alonso would have 14 home runs already this year.
hundred
If he was
percent.
getting pitches like that, like pitchers are challenging us in the zone. As a matter of fact, the pitch that Viento hit out, the pitcher before that threw a similar pitch to Marcus Simeon, and Marcus Simeon swung right through it. Vientos beat it. Vientos recognized it early and parked that thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
JJ, we miss a lot of cookies, bro. We miss a lot. We miss Brett Beatty is like the cookie monster, bro. Like pitchers are challenging Brett Beatty.
Cookie.
Yeah, he just can't. And full disclosure, I love Brett Beatty, right? I think Brett Beatty can be our, and I know it's gonna sound like hyperbole. I think he can be our Don Mattingly once he settles in, right? Because he's got the natural talent to do it. He just can't hit. And Mattingly was a hitting machine.
He's got the body type and the swing. He doesn't have the moxie and the eye for it. And I think that's the biggest difference. He doesn't have that. You know what's funny is we've seen him go through streaks where he like a very not only capable, above capable major league player, hitter, fielder, you know, and I think I'm not quite sure. I'm kind of freestyling this right now, and there's a bunch of people on here I'm gonna say hello to in a few minutes that I reached out to private. I was just saying that I talked to through and are good friends of mine. I think that moving him around a lot has done something to his hitting.
Yeah.
Him having to work kind of like when the Knicks were top three and almost top two, even though they ended up top three offensively, but we were 14th in defense. And instead of going 123 every night, we started going 110 to 98. Yeah. And we started working on our defense. Does that make sense what I'm saying? How I'm putting it together? Like him going to second base and learning second base, and going to first base and learning first base, and then going to right field and learning right field. And how much time did he have in the cage while he's doing that, do you think? How much time do you think that he really worked on the hitting while he's working on that? I don't know where I just thought of that. I did. It sounds to me, that sounds like that could be an issue.
Right. Right.
I don't know what you feel about that or not, but
basically his brain is scrambled. Too much stuff going on at once. Right.
Too much, way too much.
Learning too much. All the pressure of playing in New York for one, right? Like breaking out and being a star for the Mets is very hard, right? It's similar to breaking out being a star for the Knicks. It's very hard, very difficult, right? Especially if you're highly talented. Because in theory, Brett Beatty should be treated like all the other first round picks around baseball, right? Brett Beatty he's not like Mark Vientos took a different path, right? Alvarez took a different path, right? Brett Beatty was a prized high school prospect taken in the first round, and thus far he's not lived up to the hype. And that's how we should look at him. He's a prized high school first round pick that the Mets coveted, right? And and you can see why they
Yep.
coveted him because he's worth being coveted. But at some point, man, Brett Beatty, you're 25. You got drafted 7 years ago, bro, and you still have proven nothing at the major league level. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a year, I think it may have been last year before, whichever year, where he hit like 18 home runs. But bro, we're in an era where second basemen are hitting 40 home runs. Bro, Corbin Carroll, a dude maybe half the size of Brett Beatty maybe he's not half the size, maybe 3/4 the size of Brett Beatty. Hit like 30
No,
home
he's
runs.
about 6 foot. About 6. No, he's a little shorter. 6 foot, 5'11".
Right. Yeah, so the thing, that's why I'm high on Brett Beatty, because I know the talent is there, but you know what though? The production is not there.
No.
And you can't blame the manager, because Brett Beatty has played for how many managers now? Two. He played for Buck.
But I couldn't blame the Mets. I'm not. I'll let you do your thing. I'll chirp in after.
No, go ahead, bro. You got it.
Well, I think the Mets messed them up. Doing all those things, making Brett Beatty a coveted third baseman, and now you have Vientos, who's coming up in the ranks in the farm system at the same time, and you make them play seesaw. All right, you're good right now. Let's send down Vientos. Okay, you're good right now. Let's bench Beatty. Let's bench Vientos. Or let's put him back in AAA for more stuff.
Right.
And like that time that Alvarez hit all those home runs, he played 3/4 of a season.
Yeah.
They called him up in like June. He had 25 home runs.
Yeah.
Then they seesawed him. I think that whole line of kids, because there's a whole wave that's coming now, that are really, really talented. But that whole wave, we're talking Alvarez, we're talking Ronnie Mauricio, we're talking Vientos, we're talking Beatty.
Even some that didn't. Alex Ramirez, he didn't make it. Matt Allen, he didn't make it. Like there was like about 20 kids in that group that didn't make it. The ones we're looking at, the ones that we see every day, is the cream of the crop. Vientos, Alvarez, Beatty.
Good point.
Who else? There was a couple of pitchers too. In that group, was it not David Peterson? Christian Scott. It was a bunch of guys. Kevin Parada, he hadn't made it yet. Like it was a bunch of guys, and it's a bunch of players in that group that just didn't make it. Well, we're looking at the cream of the crop, and then you're like, well, if the cream of the crop is this, what the hell kind of crop do we have? You know what
kind of cream are you using?
Yeah, what
kind of cream they using? What you using? Soy milk?
Yeah, right. Yeah, because you got your.
Yeah, I have a question. How do you milk an almond? Anyway.
Yeah. But to jog your memory, Alex Ramirez was supposed to be the next version of Carlos Beltran, because he's bigger than Beltran. He's probably faster than Beltran, but he just couldn't hit. Right? Remember, Pete Crow Armstrong is a part of this group. Pete Crow Armstrong is a part of this group of guys.
Yeah, he sure is. He sure is.
So it's a lot of the Mets had a lot of guys, but Beatty, Vientos, Mauricio, and Alvarez are the ones that stayed, are the ones that are here. Yeah. And so
they're the ones that they chose.
Yeah. They're the chosen ones.
out of all the other guys. I'm saying, like, like we could have made a trade.
Yeah,
Even though I'm gonna be honest with you, PCA is not having that same type of effect right now. And for all those people who was like, oh my God, we lost out to certain people and blah 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 blah. You never know if you got a one hit quitter, or what do
yeah,
they call that, a 1 year China, whatever it might be.
yeah,
But you
yeah.
know, I also think what they did to them, because of what the Mets did to them, do
Oh,
did them a lot of misjustice, a
you
lot of
know who
misjustice
else in that group?
and injustice.
Guess who?
Who
Andres Jimenez is in that group. You remember Andres
and
Jimenez?
and and the other guy who went for,
You,
I
you,
never
you,
remember his name anymore.
you talking about Ahmed Rosario, or are you talking about the other second baseman?
Yeah, Rosario was right above.
Yeah,
Jimenez was in that group too. You're right. You're right, 100%.
yeah. Jimenez is
And
in that.
I agree with my man. Whatchamacallit, Create 1388. That's my man, Carlos, man. Peace, man. Thanks for showing up here, man. Definitely come and check us out and chill out for a long time, man.
Yeah,
Actually, you
man.
can't leave now. Now you can't leave.
Now you stuck.
Um, yeah, now you can't leave. Bronx Tale stuff. Uh, Whatchamacallit, the Mets were playing Cecil with a lot of people. But even though he had to get off the Mets, though, Create, my man Los, he still had one great year, and now he's a good player.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
not a great player. He's not a
yeah.
great player. He's not Lindor.
Right, right.
So you know, you know,
But
and you're a Mets fan who wears Marlins hats and also Hornets hats. Well, they're not the Hornets, right? What are they? Are they? Oh, anyway.
me, I would never.
Yeah.
I would
He
not.
knows what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about.
I could
So
never.
yeah, you're right. We had that whole group. So where do we go now? We got Scott has to have about four more starts before I am sold that he is a serious part of this rotation. And if anybody disagrees with that, now you can't leave.
Objection, Your Honor. I disagree. No, I
Okay,
just,
now
I
you
just,
you can leave.
but let me explain why though. Let me explain why. I'm gonna explain why in a practical real life sense. Right. The
All right,
thing is,
let me. I'm listening.
so the thing is with Christian Scott is injuries set his development path back about 2 or 3 years. Right. So while he's 25 or 26 in real life, you're really looking at a pitcher that's probably 23 with limited MLB experience. And then on top of that, he's trying to discover those physical traits that made him the number one prospect and the Mets number one pitching prospect. Right. So
Yeah,
you have to rank him below guys like Jonah Tong because even though they're younger, right, Christian Scott was on the shelf for a long time. Him and another Mets prospect that people keep forgetting about named Matt Allen, Mattallan, right? He was a prospect we took out of high school also, right? My thing with Christian Scott
yep,
is Christian Scott at the moment is a thrower. He's not a pitcher,
right.
right?
He's not. He's right. He's not a pitcher. He's a thrower.
A
I
thrower,
agree,
right? But how he becomes
100%.
how he becomes a pitcher is getting innings, learning from mistakes, getting out of jams, fine tuning stuff that works, fine tuning stuff that doesn't work, right? Getting experience, all these things. If there's anyone that I feel like is worth watching take their lumps, it's Christian Scott. Because in theory, the Mets had a pitcher similar to Christian Scott named Seth Lugo, right? And we were like, oh man, Seth Lugo, he's always cruising. And then he give up the 3-run homer, and here we go. And now Seth Lugo is one of the best pitchers in baseball, right? Highly coveted, right? This is
Yep.
If you're a
Yep.
Mets fan, you see Christian Scott, don't think Noah McLean, think Seth Lugo, right? The development path.
Right. No, I agree with that.
Where because in theory, there you can make an argument now of the Mets big five back in the day of Matt Harvey, DeGrom,
Syndergaard,
yeah, Syndergaard, the lefty Steven Matz,
and Lugo.
Yeah, and out of that group, you can almost make a point that Seth Lugo right now may be the best out of that group. Maybe.
Well, I would say DeGrom still, but Lugo is up there because DeGrom is still tossing. But DeGrom was hurt and Lugo kept playing, so there is a debate for that.
Yeah, and
I'll give you that.
I think Seth Lugo won a Cy Young. I don't know.
No, he bought a Cy Young. He bought one from a side stop while he was driving down I-95. If Seth Lugo won a Cy Young, I will throw everything in my house. I swear to God. Seth Lugo, please somebody find out right now if Seth Lugo won a Cy Young. I will throw myself throughout. I'll throw myself into this house. If he did, I'm gonna lose my mind. He had a great year with KC. He had a great year who was he with? San Diego?
No, Seth Lugo finished second in Cy Young when he was in Kansas City.
Second. I knew he was in the running, but I didn't think he won it. All right. I was about to break somebody else's stuff. I was looking for other people's things. So
but the fact that he was second in Cy Young is crazy, bro.
No, you got a good point. I mean, what were we saying earlier? That 15 team was carried. It wasn't till came to the team that they actually had a real power bat. They were going off their pitching.
Yeah.
Remember that year they started off 13-0. 13-0, which kept them in the running, which made them make that trade that made Flores cry, that didn't bring over Gomez, that brought over Anus. Cespedes. I'm sorry, I'll never forget it. I can't. I gotta tell the story one more time. I'll never forget it. I'm watching them play the Mets versus the Yankees, and what were their names over there? I don't really even give them props. I think Sterling is his name. The guy who's
the homo
and the woman
name.
Sterling Silver and Fake Gold. What's the woman's name? Susan something. And she got a whiny voice, and he was dead serious. And Cespedes hits a rocket home run in Yankee Stadium, and he literally said, with like, with no break, and by mistake, but with no break, he says out loud, "Well, Susan, you see that your anus has been on fire lately." I can't find a clip of that, but I want that to be my ringtone.
Right,
But
right.
oh man, it was hilarious. Oh, hilarious. But
Yeah,
that's why we have the best booth in baseball.
yeah,
But I think they would even laugh at that.
yeah.
Anyway, the point of everything and all that, and hopefully nobody is on fire. But what I'm trying to say to you is that was carried by great pitching, and we have gone through rows of stuff like that. Remember, the cream of the crop of that team, of that pitching stuff, was Matt Harvey.
Yeah,
Matt Harvey was first.
yeah,
The Dark Knight, and probably other things,
right.
and all that stuff got to him, and the city life was not good for him. The young shortstop that threw 100 comes up, who was a pitcher and a shortstop named Jacob DeGrom,
Yeah,
and he starts working his way up the system. Then
yeah.
we make a trade for a 42-year-old knuckleballer named R.A. Dickey, who just comes off a Cy Young. He won the Cy Young
Where was he at? He was with Texas.
with us.
No, I'm saying, where did we get him from? Atlanta?
R.A. Dickey was all over. I don't know exactly where we got R.A. Dickey from. Maybe Atlanta, or maybe um, Scarsdale. I don't know where we got him from, but
Canarsie.
um, Canarsie. I think he was from Canarsie. Maybe it might have been right outside Raleigh. Anyway, I'm thinking that because he was he was in the league for since Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yoenis and Dickey. So we don't want to turn this into that type of show, but look, usually we're much more professional. Forgive him today. I don't know why he's acting this way, but I will say that I will say that when we made that trade, Travis Darno, it's kind of like Tobias Myers right now. Travis Darno was the main part of that. The throw in, we got him from Mount Everest. That's all. But he did do that. The throw in was a young man, a big guy with golden locks, who could probably pick up a sledgehammer and hold it up in the air, named Noah Syndergaard,
Yep.
who turned out to be the way better. Ironically, though, it's funny if you look at it, Travis Darno is still playing. I'm not quite sure where Noah Syndergaard is.
I think he's out of baseball, bro.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So he might be in the. I don't know. I don't know. But I think that you make small moves. You look for that secondary person. I think that pickup that we did this year, picking up Peralta, even though he may not be your favorite, even though when I was there during the game versus Colorado, he threw 6 full innings. I think he got one hit off it, one run off of him, and then somebody else comes in and they
And the
got 2
wheels.
runs, or yeah, and they messed it up. But we do have to make some changes, and I'm very interested to see if we ride the wave of this victory. I don't want to get overjoyed over this victory, because we should right now have 3 straight, 4
Probably.
straight,
Yep.
4 straight. We won 1-8-0, and we lost the other ones by 1 run.
Yeah.
And we were up, I believe, in all of them. JJ would probably know that.
Right.
Yeah, we definitely need. I don't play the pause, but I do like that flag thing. That flag thing is hilarious. I don't play the pause.
Right.
Yeah. So, um, I definitely agree with you, Joe, that we need a winning month. Really quick, if I want to take a time out for a second, and shout out Cheddar Cheese 64. It's my nephew, uh, Jax, hanging out with us. Young man,
Salute.
just started high school, big Mets fan. They go to all the spring training games, and they live by there, and they were good friends with. They're gonna have to remind me, but with the what was the old coach? The I don't know. Was it the first base coach that just left? Jackson's gonna have to remind me on that. But hello to you. Hello to my sister Z. Thanks for coming aboard.
Salute.
Yeah, so I think that we do have to make some sort of change, some sort of real change. As far as Benj goes, we know what he could do in the field. But does anybody feel like he is overmatched in the hitting department? And that's a reason to send him down for a while and make a move somehow, not including him, hopefully. Or do you let him ride it out because he's such a good player in the outfield and work maybe another couple weeks or a month? But you got to make a move because you can't have a lineup that has Austin Slater, Tyrone Taylor, Luis Torrens, Benj, who can't hit, and you can't have that lineup.
And Ibanez in left field. That's
Right,
ridiculous.
right. Your best hitter is MJ Melendez. You can't have that. You can't have that. And you can't have those lineups being changed every day. This is not bar league softball. Even in bar league softball, they don't change the lineup.
Right. Right.
So what is your thought at this moment about making changes?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right?
Vientos, Beatty, and Alvarez, and
Right.
making changes.
Here's the thing, right? The thing is, in this situation, you usually look to your minors for the best prospect that you have to bring them up to let them get a sniff in the major leagues and see if they can provide a spark. The thing
That's
is,
Ewing coming up next.
is your best prospect is already on the roster, right? And Carson Benj. Carson Benj is a more highly touted prospect than AJ Ewing at this point. Which one is better? Right now, we'll say Carson Benj is better because the Mets think he's better because they promoted Benj before they promoted Ewing. Right? Let's just trust that these guys at
Right.
least kind of know what they're doing. Right? The thing is with a Benj, he's providing value to the lineup, just not offensively. it is kind of like when the San Diego Padres stayed with Ozzie Smith at shortstop, even though he couldn't hit. Because Ozzie Smith's his defense early on kept him in the majors. He was a wizard at shortstop. No pun intended. Pun definitely intended. Right?
Right. Pun
Right.
definitely intended. You
Right.
talking pre St. Louis years? You talking about?
I'm talking about the Padres
Yeah,
years
yeah,
when they wore those
yeah, yeah,
McDonald's,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
What you're doing is very selfish right now, bro. What you're doing is very selfish right now. You didn't even tell us what you were eating, bro.
No,
That's some
I'm not eating
selfish
anything.
ass. That's some selfish. That was really
Listen,
selfish, bro.
you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful who to trust. Even sugar looks like salt.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah, no, no, no. I
But,
mean,
but
I'm not eating. I'm not eating anything. I was making a cup of coffee.
oh, okay.
However,
Oh,
yeah,
but
I was. However, this apple turnover has
oh my god.
layers on it. I can't describe to you.
I bet you it's a buttery, flaky crust, bro.
You have the most buttery flavored, and you drop it in the mic in the toaster for 1 minute. Yeah,
And then I go to the doctor, and the doctor
whipped
was like,
cream dollop, whipped cream.
man. And then the doctor would tell me, he's like, hey, Uncle Freezy, you're making great progress, but you're 2 pounds overweight. That'll be $400. Bro, I'm paying you $400 to tell me I'm fat. I knew that already. I could have saved my money.
I swear to God, it's funny you said that. I really want to become what is the lady's job title? A nutritionist. I want to be a nutritionist.
Right.
I listen. There's two jobs that I am dying for besides being a sports analyst.
Right.
A nutritionist or a weatherman. I could be wrong. I could be wrong all the damn time with the weatherman and nutritionist. I could say, yo, listen, man, you are very heavy. Eat broccoli. See you on Wednesday.
And make sure you take the receptionist. That'll be $400. Right.
Right. Don't leave without paying.
Right. Right. And salute to all the doctors out there, because I know y'all do more than that, right? Because I know at times y'all will do that and drink coffee at the same time, and I know that's difficult.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
no, it's tough.
The thing with Benj is he adds quality. Like some of those catches he made, our normal right field probably wouldn't have made those plays that he made. Especially if
Soto would have never made that play.
Neither the catch at the ball, he would have backed up off the wall and let it bounce, and then throw a soft toss to somebody while they were stretching it to a triple. Right?
100%.
The catch in right field saved our bullpen. Because if that ball drops, now Mendoza springs out of the dugout and goes to the bullpen. Right?
I don't even know why he did that. That man deserved to finish the 7th inning. Maybe if one man gets on, sure. Okay, another one gets on, sure.
Right.
We already had so we were watching the game together, and we talking about different things, and the plan was, he goes through 7, if not 8, because the way he was pitching was amazing. Yeah. And then you bring in Weaver and you bring in Williams. But I like the way they did it, because Brooks Raley, man, I don't know. We have a very special bullpen. Now that you got rid of Lovelady and Lady and the Tramp, and all them, they're all gone.
Yeah,
we got a very special bullpen.
Some people just can't pitch in New York, bro.
That's just it. That's it.
Some people just can't perform in New York, bro. Is the
Yeah.
pressure is crazy. That's why I'm saying the kid Benj, give him more time. Don't yo-yo him like you did Vientos and Beatty, right? Don't yo-yo him. The mistake
Right.
that was
I hear
made
you.
was yo-yoing young players, then their confidence is gone, and now you have a prospect that's a $2 win on a $2 ticket. So you paid $2, you won $2, but you didn't gain anything.
Right. I hate
Right?
those that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If they do anything with Ben, this is my thought on it. If Ben gets sent down to hit, right, for hitting purposes, because he does not, that's the only thing he needs. He can run, he can steal bases, he can play the field immaculately. Immaculately? We'll
That's
leave
a
it
new
there.
word, but I know what you mean.
It's immaculate. Yeah,
Yeah,
appreciate it. It's almost like broccoli.
yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Um, and but he is just missing something in the way, if it's his stance, if it's his, like, are the pitches too much for him? Is the off speed? Because mind you, we had a guy, Mauricio, up until yesterday, that could hit a home run to 460 feet, but it takes him every 25 bats to get a hit at all, any hit.
yeah,
And that's why he dove. Not only because we needed that run, but because he wanted to get on base.
yeah.
And we don't want that. So the only thing you could do with Ben is send him down, get him right with the bat, make a major move, make some moves with these guys, whether it's Beatty, Alvarez, and Beatty, whoever it might be. And I'm not really looking to lose Ewing or Lambert or even Santucci or maybe I might be willing to part with Tong. I'm thinking about it. I think you get a lot with him. I'm not quite sure how he's gonna pan out. He seems, I don't know. I've never stood next to him, but it seems, Tim Lincecum has something very, very, very special. If Tong was as special as everybody's projecting to be, and David Peterson keeps going out there and throwing disgusting baseball, I think that he would have been up here already, Tong. And Peterson would have either been traded, which he should be, or put in the bullpen.
Right. The unfortunate thing is, what you're saying is absolutely right, but we can't do it because we also have another lefty that's struggling with velocity, that's making a lot of money, that's taking.
Manaya. Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
you're saying is pitch perfect, right? But we can't do
Yeah.
it because we already have a guy that's in that occupying in that parking spot. You know what I mean? So we're
Yeah.
in a tough situation, right?
You
Because
send him down then.
we have two more
That might
years.
get him right. Right? Wow. Who knows?
Manaya or Peterson.
Peterson. Because if at some point now the thing is going to be this, it depends on what Scott does. If Scott pitches great for the next 4 games, now what you have is you have Peralta, McLean, Scott, Holmes,
in the fifth spot.
and somebody we trade for.
Yeah,
No,
because
I don't know. I get that. I get it. It's tough. I'm not quite sure. Are we missing him? Is there another pitcher I'm missing? I know
yes,
Senga's done. He's hurt.
yeah, that's the one. That's the one that you're missing. He's injured.
Yeah, yeah. And they messed him up because they weren't willing to do the 6-man rotation. And not just that. He's been hurt every year. Because if he's not hurt, Senga, all jokes aside, could be the best pitcher in baseball if he never gets hurt.
If he doesn't get hurt.
Ever.
Right.
He would be.
Right. But do you give up on the potential? At this point, probably.
Senga give up on.
Yeah. Do you give up on David Peterson, the potential? Probably.
Yes.
Because he's a lifelong Met and he's 30.
Yeah, no, he's done. He's done. I would have gave up Peterson before I gave up Lugo.
Right. Right. And
1,000%. That was a choice, by the way, at that time.
Right. The choice is between it was a carousel. It was Quintana, Jose Budo, David Peterson, and all those guys. And Peterson had a strong beginning to the season, all-star guy. And so it looked like the right decision at first. But now it looks like maybe the wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the wrong decision. But
well, look, you know what baseball is, right? You get paid for past performance. Right? In basketball, they'll pay you for 1 year's performance.
Right.
Right? 1 year, you had a great year. Thank you, iHeart. Here's 3 years, $90 million. It's different.
Right.
So this guy had a great first half, went to the All-Star game, and has dropped poop everywhere he went since then. Literally since then.
Right.
So, look, I'm looking forward. I'm definitely looking forward to a Ewing sighting. I'm looking forward to. I would give Tong a shot because we want. See, I'm fearful of that though. You give Tong a shot and he sucks. Now your value goes down and the trade value changes.
What about the flip side of that? What if you bring him up and he's the spark that you needed?
And he's awesome. Then he's a keeper and he's your fifth guy we're talking about.
Right. The only thing that we have to take into account is that these guys have limited options. Right.
Right.
The guys have
and
limited.
They did it to himself. Anyway. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, finish, please.
Yeah, no, that's the options part is where we get, because long term we know that this guy is a special pitcher, right? We have to give him the opportunity to prove it. The thing is with limited options, you have to be careful about his long-term development, because if he sucks and you send him down, that's an option. Right? You bring him back up in September, that's an option. Right?
That's right.
Now you're going into next season and he's only got 2 options left. Right?
Yep.
So we're at that weird place of, is it worth risking one of those options?
And we're also at the place of, is it time to make trades for a real first baseman? If Vientos keeps mashing like that, he could be a DH,
Or he can be
but
in that package that you send away for
still,
the guy.
or he could be the package, right? Exactly. Because as of right now, he hit his what, fourth and fifth? Was it fourth and fifth, or third and fourth?
Mm,
Either way, he's around 4 or 5,
yeah,
and I believe it was 4 and 5. But
right.
so I mean, that's not that great. Pete has 6 or 7. Just saying.
And
But we did get saved with Diaz getting hurt. But that's not the point of it. I'm not out here. I don't want anybody to be hurt, even though my feelings are hurt. We got to really take a look at things, man. And I've been looking into a lot of different things. I mean, I think it would be special. You brought up something very smart earlier, about why not picking up somebody before that, after going after Bellinger and losing out and Tucker and Bellinger, and not getting our old
Suarez,
friend back that smiles and does everything. Bader,
that makes the game fun,
that makes the game fun.
right?
Like, you're watching this kid MJ right now. You see how much fun he's having?
Right, right. And listen, I'm all for reclamation projects, right? At the same
Me
time,
too.
right at the same time, the most important thing to us is winning. Like this owner has spent $375 million in payroll, and we were in last place. That's
Yep.
something. That's something to consider.
I think he gave the wrong guy the reins.
Mhm.
But you know what? Listen, I know we're talking about all this stuff, but this is it's a post. It's a show. We can talk about anything we want.
But
But
let's
we
talk.
won today.
Let's talk about
We
that
won
though.
on.
Yeah, we won. But let's talk about the Mendoza thing. Mendoza was not
Yeah,
the primary candidate for the job. Remember, we
just
wanted
like Brown.
we wanted a package deal. We wanted David Stearns, and we also wanted Craig Counsell, right?
Yes.
Craig Counsell didn't want the
Yep.
Mets.
And they, I think, yell it at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. Craig
Yeah,
Counsell didn't want the match. You're right.
yeah,
You're right. You're right.
he wanted the Cubs. And so you can't make Craig
Yeah, he
Counsell,
did.
you can't make him be the Mets manager. That was the talk the whole time. Like, who's Craig Counsell going to choose? The Mets or the Cubs? He chose the Cubs. We got to move on. Right? And at the same time, remember, the Mets hired Carlos Beltran. Right? And then they had to step back from it because of all the stuff that came out with the Astros cheating stuff. So when you consider the Mets wanted Beltran, they couldn't have him at the time. The timing wasn't right. You don't want your manager to be wrapped up in a cheating scandal, right?
Yeah, definitely not. You don't want them to have any part of any negativity outside of baseball, inside of baseball. Period.
When you're a new owner, right? When you're a new owner, you don't want that type of stuff when you're trying to build a positive image around your team, right?
Especially when you're the richest owner, like, and you're known to be a good businessman, like you don't want that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
don't want that.
Remember when Steve Cohen took over? He was telling everyone, listen, over on the other side of town, they're corporate. Over here, we want to have a fun party-like environment where families can come out and have fun, right?
Fun, blue. He said blue collar, fun,
Yeah.
family time. That's exactly what he said.
The other side of town is the opposite of that. We want to be the opposite side of that. We want to
That's what
win and have
he said it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have Mendoza. Has Mendoza been what we wanted? Probably not. Because we felt like every year he was here, we should have been challenging for the World Series. Right?
And every year we crept in last day of the year.
Right. Right.
And he couldn't even push his guys. The last, I don't know.
All we had to do was beat the Marlins.
And Cincinnati had to lose. They did their job before we even had to get up. And we can't score a run. That's when you call timeout, timeout. Everybody downstairs. I don't care if they come and try to look for us. If you don't win this Emmett game, do you know what you that I promise you, you'll be off this team. You might be out of baseball. I am not playing with you. You go out there and hit that ball.
Right. Right.
I just think that and remember, he came from the corporate side of town.
Yep. Bringing a corporate approach.
That he was there for years.
Yep.
In the corporate side. And he brought his bullpen coach with him. He brought, look, and
he hired Antoine Richardson.
There's two ways of looking at it. Okay, what did you say, brother?
He brought Antoine Richardson, the first base coach.
Right, he did. Right. And in some ways, he did bring a refreshing new who you, for a minute, like, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, all right, not so bad. We got a squad. All right, now we got Soto to go between that, but we should have probably also picked up a Christian Walker, at least for DH and
let me ask you
like make a move for him. I'm talking about making a move for him last year.
Right. This is what I'm going to ask you. But this question is going to lead into basically this.
All right.
In a win at all costs scenario, what franchise have you ever seen trying to develop kids at the same time?
In a scenario when they're also trying to win the World Series?
Yes.
Is that what you're asking me?
That's exactly what I'm asking you.
Okay. I would say at best, a team would be developing their low A ball. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, they wouldn't have. The only time that would ever happen is if you caught a genie in a bottle and you got a couple of good pitchers and a couple of good hitters to go with a couple of reclamation projects that turn their bats around.
Right. Yep.
So that's kind of like what I'm saying. Like, it's the only way to do it is if you catch a genie in the bottle, or you catch this, that, and the third, and you already have some good AAA guys. But besides creating them and farming them the way we have a 16-year-old that we stole from the Yankees that is going to be the best player in baseball by the time he gets here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even think he's that young anymore.
He's 17 now.
Yeah, yeah, and a half. So, yeah, he just had his half birthday.
Yeah.
But I know that it's very rare that we have this much wealth stashed. I just think that, like, we've had it in the past a little bit when it was, when they thought that Greg Jeffries and a couple of pitchers and a couple of people were, yeah, and Tuffle and them were gonna, Kevin Elster and all these guys were coming up and they were gonna be the next good thing.
Right.
But we make a trade to Detroit for this young man named Hojo.
Yeah.
And that kind of X's out the third baseman, and all the older guys are leaving, like Rusty Staub and Lee Mazzilli, and our other guys are starting to get hurt. Strawberry signs to the Dodgers, and now you got to go, whoa, what am I doing next? So I don't want, and that just happened to us again. Except we did it to ourselves, because there's no reason we should be searching for a first baseman just because he didn't want to be a DH.
Right.
Because the true answer for me, the true answer is the DH for this team is Soto.
Right.
The DH for this team, because Soto stinks in the outfield.
Thank you, breaking my heart, bro.
He's horrific.
Right. Right.
My sister and my nephew have had a channel called So-So. And then I had to argue with them, like, yo, this guy is a master hitter. And they're like, he can't play in the field. And I'm arguing with them just because I know how good of a hitter he is. And I'm like, no, but he makes up for that at the bat. But
Right.
I saw plays just like you did of this guy overrunning normal fly balls. And I'm like, you know what? They're right.
And soft tossing the ball back in while runners are still running.
Right. And he doesn't even have the arm Cespedes had. Cespedes used to underhand the throw back in, and it would land right into the mid on the line drive. Yeah, it's a completely different thing. So he's our DH in my eye for. Remember, he's here 13 years, so eventually he's going to be the DH. Why not? Well, listen, that year we traded Kalenic. We picked up Cano. I knew about Diaz because one of my boys, Dave, is a huge, he tattooed on him and everything, Mariners fan. And we would watch, he had the MLB package, and we would watch the games. And I'm like, damn, this kid is good. I said, watch, he'll be a Met or a Yankee one day, I promise you. Right. And he said, nah, never going to leave here. And the very next year, they asked for a handful of players and either Kalenic or McNeil. We decided on giving Kalenic away and keeping McNeil. Diaz goes on to have the best year of his life. McNeil goes on to have a batting champion.
Right.
Kalenic goes on to
be a bust.
Exactly where. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't
he's
forget,
playing like some other league in a different country.
Don't forget, what's the guy? He was here with Daniel Murphy, Justin Turner. We had a guy named Daniel Evans, who in AAA looked like he was going to be. We almost
Daniel
moved
Evans.
Daniel Evans. We were at a point where we were thinking, should we move David Wright to first base for Daniel Evans? And Justin Turner was like, hold my beer.
Oh, a third baseman, and Turner was a third baseman too. Don't forget, right? Yeah.
And Daniel Murphy
Yep.
was a third baseman that we moved to second base.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
all those guys.
And left field, because left field, we tried left field, and he was.
Oh, he was worse than Soto, bro.
Yeah, and that was for my nephew Mace. Yeah, he was a big. So yeah, definitely he was. It was like he was worse than Soto, but you know what? He wasn't an outfielder to begin with, so he had a reason to be worse than Soto.
Right.
What's Soto's reason? I think Soto is one of those pure. I know people get mad at me for saying this. I think Soto is one of those pure hitters that just is a animal at the plate and kind of like a bit cocky and doesn't really want to chase after a baseball in the outfield and throws in duds and has to be our DH. And you want to switch him and play him out there when you need him? Sure. Switch him when you need him and put Vientos at DH if he's still here.
He
or Pete if he was still here.
He is the classic example of a Harold Baines type Major League Baseball player. Right? An Edgar Martinez type of Major League Baseball player. Jim Thome, if you will.
Big poppy.
Yeah, a big poppy where if they solely focused on hitting, they would be they could be the MVP of the league. Right?
That's right. Well, Big Poppy ended up doing that. That's what I want him to do.
That's what I think Vientos is. I think Vientos is the guy. If he becomes a full-time DH, Vientos is definitely a full-time DH in my mind. Right? He's a full-time DH. He can play some third. He can play some first. But you don't want him to be there all the time. Right? Some guys are just like that.
Right.
Some
and I think that's the same thing with Soto. So they're going to have to work that out.
Right.
And they're not going to get rid of Soto.
No. Soto is the best player on the team right now. Or the most valuable player right now.
Unless you go out tomorrow and you pick up Corbin Carroll, you pick up I'm trying to think of all the great hitters. Just for home runs, the new Asian hitter from Murakami, or you go get. He's not even a good hitter. He's just a home run hitter.
He's a slugger.
If you go get Ohtani tomorrow, right? Then Soto is not our best hitter.
Right.
Right? Because you're talking slugger with average. Freddie Freeman.
Right.
Ronald Acuna.
Right. He's a free
Those are the type. Yeah, I know. And I wish his brother was still here because his brother would be like, yo, come, let's play together, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Acuna will be a Dodger this offseason. You can book it.
Yep. And he's going to get paid for 2080.
Yep.
His grandsons will be collecting checks.
Yeah, 50%
Great
of his money
grandson.
deferred. Yep.
100%. And if Cohen doesn't start doing that, we're never getting another person again. I promise you.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I do think though, after he builds that entire thing around City Field, we're going to be more of an attraction. I promise you.
Yeah.
It's going to be, because there's 3 parkways there. There's a lot to do. There's going to be restaurants and amusement parks and bars and condos to live in, and it's right near the 7 train, and it's going to be really, really good. And I think that is when we're going to be as attractive, because really all you have in LA is you have the weather and the deferring of the contracts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be surprised in the next 5 years. You heard it here today. Do not be surprised if Citi Field is a dome. Don't be surprised. I'm just saying, a retractable dome, so you can still get the effect of LaGuardia's airlines and the airplanes in the summer and stuff like that. Don't be surprised. This man has that type of money. And if you don't want to be rained out in the East and you want to compete and be the Dodgers, and they never get rain, they never get none of that, you get a temperature controlled dome. He already made the biggest screen. He already bought the highest paid athlete in baseball. You heard it here. I'm telling you now, he will be putting up a dome. I really believe it. Yeah, Joe, if not the bull or a horse. What do you think about that? What do you think about that coming true?
Mm,
I mean, he's capable.
yeah.
I think it would be great for the team.
Fantastic for the team, bro.
Fantastic. We would be, people already travel hard to come see our team, our games.
Yeah.
Imagine 3-game series, end of the year, versus Philly. There's a torrential storm from DC to Maine, and it's at Citi Field, and you could play, because there's a dome. But if not, you gotta wait 8 days, because this thing is gonna last 8 days.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna reach out to Uncle Stevie today. Who would pay for it? We pay for it. You know how I went to a game the other day, Joe? Parking was $50. I'm not gonna lie. I had 3 rows from the field, $25 a seat. It's a secret though. I can't tell you about it online. But he will find a way for people to get involved and invested in it, because they're going to create so much jobs, living area, entertainment area.
Right.
They're going to make it look different. Look, you going into the Bronx for a Yankees game, the only nostalgia they had was the original Yankee Stadium. Now, any Yankee fan I talk to now, always say to me, I don't know why they knocked that down, bro. It broke my heart. It broke my heart.
Right.
Well, they could have refixed it. They should never have knocked that down. That was stupid. They should have refixed it.
Right.
And built it. That was like a monument. You don't do that. What? What I'm saying to you is, you put a dome on
But
that thing
that was Steinbrenner's dream, though. That was Big Steinbrenner's dream, though. Is to
to have a new stadium.
yeah, a state of the art, like a new monument for new Yankees fans for the next generation. This unfortunate part
Right.
is when he built it, he was already sick and had dementia and all those things, and he couldn't appreciate um
Right.
the thing. So
And they didn't do anything new. Like it's not. I was there. It's not like it's got some good amenities to it, but it's not. I don't know. It definitely not. I would expect something brand new to be. But you throw a dome on top of ours, you be able to play every single game all the time.
yeah,
You could have events over there, concerts, indoor concerts.
right.
He's already building. What is that they're building over there?
This guy's spending a
A
lot,
soccer stadium. A
bro.
soccer stadium. They already have a soccer stadium almost fully built.
Bro,
I would put a dome on that too. I think that is being domed.
right.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine that?
bro.
Like, imagine that. That would just be amazing. But hold on, let me get back on. I can. Oh, anyway, it's a dream. It could be a pipe dream, or it could be an amazing dream. But if he does it, I think that besides the condos he's building, the supermarkets, the stores, the bars, the entertainment, the bouncy houses, and everything else, you add the dome and you rebuild that whole area. They
Like it,
knocked down all the garages already.
like the Braves. The Braves. When you go see the Braves, bro, it's like Braves land over there.
Uh, I,
You
I,
know what I'm saying?
I haven't been there lately, but I know
Yeah,
they built up quite a bit of stuff.
yeah. And
Yeah,
even with the Falcons and Hawks play, it's like sports land over there. Bars,
right.
hotels, everything. It's like when you go, like when I go see the Hawks, bro. It's so much stuff to do around that arena. Like the only detriment is the parking in Atlanta. And if you can get
Parking
that,
is
yeah,
bad.
if you get that in Queens, bro,
Yep.
now our payroll will probably be $600 million, bro, because he has the money to do stuff with.
Right. Hey, look, Joe, not for nothing. He was willing to pay for Tucker this year. He was willing to pay for Tucker and probably Bellinger together.
Yeah,
So he has enough money right now to pay for certain things. His other investments, I did a recent check. Go do a check on what Steve Cohen's net worth is today.
I don't have enough. I did already. My computer doesn't have enough zeros.
Right. My brain doesn't.
Yeah, right. Yeah, hey, no, me. I know me, bro.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So listen, great game, great pitch game, amazing job by Holmes, amazing job by
Yeah.
Brooks, amazing job by Weaver. I'm a believer, big time.
When I saw her face, dun, 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 no. Okay.
Now I'm a believer. But we might have to. We might have to. Oh shit! I'm trying to make coffee. I didn't even put the pot in there. Yeah. We have to make a move though. Also, I really believe like it's time for Mendoza to. It's time to say goodbye
Yeah.
or say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
It's
Yeah.
time to say goodbye.
Yeah. I think if this thing is not turned around by June, and I know that seems like a long way away, right? So
It does.
June is 4 weeks away.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right. A month.
June is 4 weeks away. And judging by how fast this season has gone, it's May already. If this
I
thing is
can't
not
believe it's May 3rd at night.
bro, I'm saying I'm saying I think by the time June gets here, Benj will probably be batting 200, 210, something like that.
Hopefully
Right.
240.
Hopefully, but he'll have to get hot to do that though. He'll
I
have to
know.
get he'll have to get
Realistic. Well, he could go on a yeah, sorry.
yeah. No,
We're
if
both
he
talkers, guys. Sorry, guys.
yeah, no, and the thing is if he goes, if our guy bats say 30 for 100, then he gets in that range of like 220, 225, 230. Like
Yep.
30 hits out of 100 at bats. If he bats 300
Oh,
over the
that's
next
a
few weeks,
300.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So now you get him above the, pardon the pun, the Mendoza line, right?
Oh, I'm gonna love
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
And he
So,
needs to go on a hitting binge or a
ah,
hitting binge
yeah,
to get there.
I like that. I like that. That was slick. I
That's
like that.
ours. We said that first. The Mendoza line and the hitting binge. Don't forget it.
Yeah,
Hold
yeah.
on, let me call my lawyer to copyright that
Right now, ASAP. Right.
now. I have a second phone. You know I'm on different things.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Hey, that's all I
Well,
got. You got something else?
listen. Thank you, Vientos. I bet you feel better for missing that line drive and that thing. Vientos, do me a favor, so my dream could come true, and we could get a left fielder that is fast and really good with a good arm, and maybe hits 25 to 35 home runs, and we could put Soto at DH. Get better at first while you're here. Because if not, you'll be in the package for Yandy Diaz really soon. Yandy's hitting 350. So
Yeah.
get better. Keep hitting those home runs while you got a shot, buddy.
And so for the chat, just think about this. This is my question, you guys. Should the Mets package all of their young players and go get veterans and make a push while the push is there to be made? Or because the Mets have done this before and failed, right? Let's not get it twisted. This will be the third time they tried it. Remember, there was a time when they signed Starling Marte, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer. They went out and got a lot of guys, and it backfired, right?
And they let him go, and he paid for their thing too.
Yep, and he paid. Yep, and he paid their money. That dead money was on the
Yep.
book forever, right?
Yep.
Do you make that kind of push, or do you grow this thing organically? Recalibrate your World Series aspirations. Instead of saying World Series a bust, do you say playoffs a bust? Right?
And then see how we go once we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm yes. At this point, I think it's we should probably be starting with 500 a bust.
Right.
And be realistic about that and say, you know what? We need to do a little bit better. We need to get healthier. 1000%.
Yeah.
As soon as Senga is healthier, he pitches one game, hopefully looks a little decent. You trade him that day. Bang.
Yeah. Yeah.
and then hope that that's really the key to it all is and make some projects, get some projects. I think Ewing is on his way up here in the next by maybe June if he's hitting the way he is in AAA. You're gonna have to make room for him.
Where are
I'm
you
getting
playing?
rid of other people.
Where are you playing AJ Ewing?
Huh?
Where are you playing AJ Ewing?
Now AJ Ewing is an outfielder and a second baseman.
Mm.
I'm not near my computer right now, and I'm on the thing with you. I believe he's an outfielder and a second baseman.
Right.
And it's definitely 500 a bus, Joe, for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we could get to 500 by, and we're still semi in it by trade deadline, that's when we make that move. I know we're off the chain right now because we're so ticked off and all the stuff, but 100%, that's why we make those moves. Ewing is going to go into Marcus Semien spot. Marcus Semien is getting cut, or he's going to get traded to a team that needs a second baseman, that needs a leader. He may be back to the A's for Nick Kurtz. No, we never get him for Semien, but oh boy, do I want that kid on our team, bro. You get him and you get one other player, bro. We'll win 5 World Series straight. Maybe for some pitching,
I really
maybe
like this.
for some prospects.
I really like that kid, Ryan Clifford.
I like Clifford too, but Clifford doesn't seem to like baseball. He's not that great.
Yeah, I really like Clifford at first base, bro.
How's he hitting though? You have something in front of you where you could just look up Clifford's numbers right now? If not,
Yeah.
we'll do it the next show we come in. We'll talk minor leaguers if you want next time we come in.
Yeah, let's talk minor leaguers next time. Yeah,
All right, we'll talk minor leagues. All right, and that way you go.
That's a very in-depth and nuanced conversation because when you talk minor leaguers, you have to look at each level. Like, you have to look at, is somebody dominating AA? Are they dominating AAA? How many at-bats, plate appearances, and games do they have at AAA? Like, are they dominating against major leaguers that are in AAA? Right? Like there are a lot of things.
Who's ready to come up? Right. Who's ready to come up? Who's ready to replace them from the lower level? Who's ready to place that guy from the lower level? How many out of we had at one point 6 or 8 people in the top 100. How many of those players are we willing to part with for a slugger? How many lower A guys are possibly going to be in the top 100 within the next year? And if they are, do we make them into projects or do we make them into Tatis?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the thing. The young shortstop is Fernando Tatis Jr. That's him.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say. Do we either do that or we work on him like Ewing is so good and so fast, so 40-something, then 70-something bases. And we already got rid of Jet Williams, who did that. He's faster and stronger than him.
Right.
Because if not, we would have traded Ewing instead.
Yeah, and so is Nick Morabito. Morabito is faster than all those guys. And he's a more
and stronger
base dealer than all those guys. But he doesn't present the pop that you would like, right? Maybe he's a 10, 12 home run guy. Maybe he has to fill into his body like how Brandon Nimmo had to do.
Right? Brandon Nimmo was a skinny.
Yeah.
He was like Manute Bol.
Yeah.
Sean Bradley in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he turned into, like Brett Beatty kind of body. Like we're a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree with you, and I think we watch for it. I think Ewing is going to be a big part of our team.
Right.
Hopefully, Santucci, Lambert, those type of guys. But
But
there's other guys, and I think Morbito too. But there's other guys that are down there that are really good. Don't forget, we got our top 20. There's like 4 guys in the top 50 now, or at least on top 100.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and so
we could have a show
you
on.
don't want them to rot on the vine. You see, the thing is, you don't want them to rot on the vine, kind of like how we did Kirk Neuenhuis, right? You remember Kirk Neuenhuis?
Yeah,
We had
yeah,
Kirk Neuenhuis
of course.
and Nemo. Like
And he
you know,
was fast, and he could hit. He could hit. He had a little pop when he first came up.
yeah,
He
little,
he played a great. He played a great right field. He could
right?
play both corners. He even played center. I think about 5
Yeah,
times, if I remember correctly.
yeah. He came up as a center fielder, but when you
Right,
have,
right,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
But see, he played right field because we had an all-world center fielder that couldn't hit.
yeah, yeah.
Who's the
Mm-hmm.
all-world? The guy that was built like Bruce Lee.
Langaris.
We had Juan Lagares.
Yeah, Juan Langaris.
Yeah, so
Yep,
you put
but
yeah,
then he couldn't hit because we messed around with him too much. But it's a lot of things like that. But you know what? If he could fill in that body, he could be your leadoff hitter. A guy who hits 10 or 20, 10 or 12 home runs with all world speed that maybe hits 300 is called the leadoff hitter.
yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah,
Bichette. Bichette was running like he had poop in his diaper.
yeah. He's not a leadoff hitter, bro.
No, no.
No, Bichette's not. Bichette is Dante Bichette is kind of like Tommy Herr, who used to play second base for the St. Louis Cardinals.
I remember Tommy Herr with the long hair, number 18, I think his number was, or something like that.
Yeah, or yeah,
I I could see him right now. Tommy Herr was on the same team with the Juan Samuel before they traded him with us.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember.
yeah, yeah.
I hated his face. Um,
He looked like the guy from
that's
Harlem.
right. Look, so there it is. No, Herr was a Philly. He went to the Cardinals, or maybe came from the Cardinals, but he definitely played for the Phillies.
Yeah, he played for the Cardinals first. He won World Series with the Cardinals in the 80s, right?
Yes,
In
I think
80,
with Keith Hernandez.
no, before. Well, was he there?
No, not before, because Keith started in '78.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe Keith wasn't up yet. I don't remember.
yeah. Keith Hernandez played a long time with the Cardinals
Yeah, a
before.
long time.
Yeah, before we got
A
him
long
with
time.
the Nets.
Yeah.
The only
He
reason
had a
why,
problem with Whitey Herzog. He was like, was doing coke and
yeah, and the thing
hanging
about that
out.
is the owners and this is to let you know about politics in baseball. The
Yeah.
Anheuser-Busch family bought the Cardinals and didn't want, since they were
Yep.
American brand, they didn't want Keith Hernandez and guys like that on
Yeah.
the roster because they were a family-friendly organization. And they didn't want stuff like that to be. And they're still
Right. They
that way.
wanted the Dale Murphys. They wanted the Dale Murphys. They wanted the
Yeah.
right.
Squeaky clean image.
They wanted squeaky clean. What was his name? Roy Halladay, the pitcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the reason they also traded Gary Templeton for Ozzie Smith. All right. Gary Templeton was an excellent shortstop too. But he was what they call lippy. Right. He was lippy.
Yeah.
Like he was the brother that talked all the time. Like back in those days, that was not that was frowned upon.
He didn't do that with white. He didn't do that with Whitey, and I don't mean white. Yeah. I don't mean white people, but maybe I do mean that too. But I'm talking about Herzog in this situation.
Yeah,
but maybe it's a pun as well. But we like to have fun, and of course, times have changed. Sometimes some things have changed over the years, but Yeah, they always like have the image. Remember the Mets at that time, we were like Ray Knight was a boxer. Like you slid up, Eric Davis slid into the base too strong.
Yeah.
But the truth
Yeah.
is he didn't do nothing.
Nope.
He just slid into the base too strong.
Yeah.
Joe put up Clippard sitting 219. Five, what's that, Joe? 5 home runs, 18 RBIs. Okay,
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But hey, Peterson, Clifford, Tongue, or maybe not Tongue. We'll see. Maybe Beatty, Peterson, Clifford turns into
Corbin Carroll.
you add another Corbin Carroll. Exactly. That's your right fielder. Oh
Yeah.
my God. And your leadoff hitter who gets you 17 triples, 30 home runs,
And now
and
and now you have to
steals
face
40 bases.
and now the top of your lineup is Carroll, Lindor, Soto, Bichette.
Right. Yes. I go with that.
I'm good with that, bro.
I would even go with as far as seeing what if Vientos is not in that and he's still rocking the ball like 24, I would go Carroll, Lindor, Bichette, Soto, Vientos, or Bichette hitting number 5 and having oh I gotta do this all day. I'm gonna
One,
just keep talking myself into
one can
circles.
only dream, bro. One could only dream.
I every day.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
tired of dreaming, man.
Hey, hey, me too, man. Me too.
Oh,
And mind you, listen,
yeah.
Steve Cohen has been trying to get guys forever. Remember, the only reason why this lineup looks the way it does is because not only did we miss out on Tucker and Bellinger, but remember, the Mets signed Carlos Correa. Remember the
Yep.
Mets
And
signed
then he
Carlos
backed
Correa?
away.
And they backed away because of the physical.
Was he
Bro,
before we picked up Lindor
no,
or after we picked up Lindor?
I think we got Lindor, gave him the extension because when we signed Correa, we automatically told him who was going to move him to third base, and he said the only reason why he'll play third base is because you got a Puerto Rican All Star at shortstop. Remember them guys, Puerto Rican, right? He's like, that's the only way I would
Yeah,
move.
and they came from Houston together.
Bro, yeah, man,
They
yeah,
were
man,
both in Houston.
yeah. So
So
you can't blame the owner, bro.
that would have been that would have been great.
Bro,
Oh my God, man.
you can't blame the owner, bro. The owner is doing everything possible to get this team to be a
Yeah,
champ.
look, I think that there's no doubt in my mind, and then we'll wrap. There's no doubt in my mind that he's doing everything possible. He's building a farm. He's making trades. He's giving Stearns a way. I hate using this word with humans, but way too long of a leash. But sometimes it works out because sometimes Stearns will make the right move to get that 16 17-year-old who's going to turn into the 22-year-old that we call up,
Yep.
right? Like the bench and Ewing and whatever. And then you went out. Let's not forget something. We're naming all these people. We also have a guy who hit 26 and about almost 100 RBIs last year, 90 in Polanco, who's out. So he spent a ton of money. I keep forgetting Polanco. I don't know about you, but I don't remember Polanco's even on this team.
Polanco's been forgettable.
What the hell? What are we going to do with Polanco?
He's been forgettable, bro.
Yeah. And he's been terrible. Trade package.
Yeah. The Polanco at first base. When I saw him, a ball was hit over his head in the right field corner.
Yep.
And he didn't even turn his back to home plate to be an outlet for a throw from the outfield. As soon as I saw
remember you telling me that.
Get his ass off right now. You want your right fielder out the corner to make a throw to home plate, and you gonna watch it?
So you went and heard him. You're saying?
Bro. I would trade him for Corbin Carroll right now. Get his ass out of here.
I'm telling you right now,
bro.
Corbin Carroll. You put Polanco. You could make all these lineups right now. You could get Polanco with Beatty. You don't need to lose the whole world to go get him.
Yeah.
You don't think they want a switch hitting guy who has 25 home runs to be DH for them over there in Arizona?
Yeah.
They'll take him.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
I want them to.
And Joe says Cohen has lost out too many times. Hey, man, that's your front office. Remember, the front office has a job to do, bro.
Right.
Remember,
the
front office has to do this. Right?
Yeah. There's no way you can put the blame on Cohen for that at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Joe, you have a lot of great points for sure, man. I'd love to see. I'm going to say this, though, Joe. That wallet is wide open. And he is giving them whatever they wanted. If they say, and he's giving instructions, go get everybody. Yeah. Everybody.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Cohen who's saying don't spend, don't give a pitcher Schemes a 7-year deal.
Right.
I mean, it's not smart to give a pitcher that long of a deal, but Schemes at that age, I'm giving him 7 years. You have an opt out after 4.
I'm giving that man 13, bro. Yeah, I'm giving him a blank check and telling him you write the numbers in. Right?
Right. You and McClain back to back for the next 12 years.
And Scoople's a free agent this winter.
Right. You don't think we're gonna go after them, Joe? What do you think? I do.
I think Scooble's a Met guaranteed. I'm saying book it.
Oh, book it.
Book it. Yeah.
I love to hear that. Book it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? But Joe, the Dodgers are doing something that I think Cohen is going to learn how to do. And, there is a lot to say about the weather and the California and the whole thing. But at one point, I promise you this, some point soon, there's going to be players like Soto who are going to say, wait, I don't want to be a Kevin Durant that joined the team that just beat me. That I don't want to be that. You're like Tatis. I don't see a Tatis going to the Dodgers because they're rivals. I don't see everybody going over there because how special is it to be a team, a stacked all-star team that could beat up on the world. By the way, we were a a a way above average, but not even good. I'd say good, not great. That made it 6 games just 2 years ago, and had our number one pitcher versus their bullpen was throwing that day because they didn't have enough pitching, and their pitchers always get hurt. I don't, and then they played the Yankees and they spanked the Yankees, and we would have did the same thing, spanked the Yankees. I promise you this, that his wallet's wide open, and our farm and the future is mega bright. And it started when he got here, and for our push to get to 500 started today. And we're going to go from there.
Right.
Great pitching. Good job, defense. Great job at home run. Vientos. Great pitching. And then tomorrow is a 5 o'clock game. Right?
We're going to Colorado, right?
We are. I think the whole week is in a way. Yep.
Yeah, probably.
And then guess where we're going? We got day off on Friday, which is very weird. Is it Friday or Thursday? Hold on.
Probably Thursday. If we play Colorado.
Thursday. Sorry, you're right. So we're going to Colorado 3 games. We owe them a sweep. We owe them one. And then we go to watch Corbin Carroll for the next 3 days. And Vargas at first base. Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And then we come home and it's Detroit, the Yankees, and the Yankees. Both teams are on fire. But then we go away and it's Washington and Miami. And we end the month home versus Cleveland to see my favorite supposed to be Met, who was going to end up his career as a Cleveland Indian. Jose Ramirez.
Yeah.
I want to cry, but it's hard.
May could wind up being a pretty good month.
I agree. If we get on that train rolling, that homestand, especially we play really good versus the Yankees. That homestand might be not as bad as we think. And then we play Washington and Miami, and we could take advantage of that. Beat them a lot. That'd be great.
Yeah.
And then we go away, and then because June
is
start with Seattle, San Diego, St. Louis, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Chicago, Toronto.
June is Mendoza's month, man. Either he gets red hot or he gets ice cold, right? So June, but when June gets here, we'll know whether Mendoza will be a Met or not.
Yeah, no doubt.
100%. All right, man. Let me wrap so I can give me some dinner. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for coming through and hanging out with us, because we can do this all night. Basically, I was gonna try to do it all night, but my stomach started growling.
Yeah, I was gonna actually say I'm gonna stay on with you, but I'm gonna take a walk. Get these legs are hurting me. I'm gonna start taking a walk. But
yeah, man. Hey, thank y'all everybody for coming through, hanging out with us. The New York Mets Lounge. Great job by the Mets today, coming through in the clutch. Swaggy.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Peace, everybody.
Peace, y'all.